everyone, T-Man978. I got two figures at once. But since that guy's already been reviewed and I've never seen a review for her, she's going to be first. This is the Amazon exclusive Jules and Ohm. No window at all. It came in a shipper box, like other exclusives. And yeah, I hope she looks this good out of the box. Let's find out. Oh yeah, link in the description to where you can find this. My personal link.
T-Man978 Chill Review.
For the people that have been collecting these, she comes a little bit different. All of her stuff is in a bag and she's like just held to the side of this box right here. And yeah, let me open it. Alrighty now folks, here's everything that's in the box. Looks like I might be the first review, but unless somebody else got her today too. So yeah, this is gonna be out hours after I do it, so I don't know. I went looking for reviews for help on these. I have no clue what these do. There's no instructions in the book, in the box, and yeah, it's not overly apparent what it does. I have one clue, and I'll try to show that off later, but I'm not sure if that's right because it doesn't make sense. Warning. You saw how she was in that box, Silence of the Lamb style? Pulling her out, I grabbed her like this, and I was like, whoa, what the? This whole top is made out of an elastic material, and they molded, they went with the lesser of two evils. They molded, instead of, because you know everything that's under here isn't painted, it's just flesh tone. Instead of molding actual boobs under there and just having this soft material on top, and people can cut that off and have her with naked boobs, they molded the boobs into this. But that's not the warning thing. Trying to put the backpack in, I was using the front of her body as like leverage, and then after a while I started seeing there's dust everywhere. And I actually rubbed that symbol off, so it's a cool new technology, them giving her this pliable material. When I first saw this, I was like, how is that shirt's gonna really hinder things? But nope, they made it soft, but it looks like paint doesn't adhere to that well. So yeah, that's one downside right there. But let's get into these accessories. She does come with her giant wrench harvesting tool right there, which does have this part that you can put in, and it's very big. This is actually very thin and kind of flimsy, but it's made out of several pieces, as you can tell. And they went the extra mile of painting that like jazzware style. Of course, she is capable of holding this. Her feet. Well, I'll get to. I just put her feet onto one of these McFarlane stands. They work for these. All the Hasbro figures can work on those McFarlane stands. But the reason why this comes off is because her bird over here, Ohm, he can actually attach right here. And he has two separate wings. They are articulated right here. I would suggest articulating these up and down before actually plugging them into his body, because all the joints seem to be stiff on these figures. So I would suggest if you are getting these for kids, this one I'm not so sure would be good for kids, to be honest, because it is like not for little kids. Some of this stuff is hard to do, like getting this plugged in there takes a tremendous amount of force. And I do mean tremendous, and my fingers are slippery because I loosened my hands before doing this. But now he's on there. Here's a problem though. This stem or handle is very pliable, so yeah. But you do get this articulation with this. Looking at game footage, because I started playing this after the season where he originated, his wings actually come out. Come on, focus on him. The wings come down like this. He works like an umbrella, basically. The head turns around. It only has like a little bit of a ball motion. It can only go up and down a little bit. There's no neck, but it can turn left and right. Yeah, he's kind of like the Clash of the Titans, that clockwork owl. Both of these actually look exactly the same. This one can actually unperch itself, and it does have the same articulation. And these, I thought I was gonna break it because this joint right here is crazy tight. But if you wanted to, you can pull these off and make him into a full, make him have big wings. The one without the big wings are supposed to sit on this back bling right here, which is multiple pieces of plastic overlaid or overlayered and painted. But you can get the tail in here and have it sitting right there. And then you grab her shoulders, I'm guessing, instead of her chest as leverage, and shove that in there. The stem isn't that deep, but you see all that. That makes her extremely back heavy, and the ankles don't seem to be the best. I would maybe rock her waist forward. They made a ton of compromises on this female figure. She does come with these two nicely painted wrenches. So if you don't want her to have the big wrench, she can use these as like harvesting tools. Like in the game, they would usually swing one arm and then swing the other arm to hit things. And outside of that, she does come with this welding mask right there. It just slips over her whole head. That strap doesn't move, but you can get it over her head like this if you want to have the half on, half off situation. So yeah, but let me switch the wings out and show you that. He has the same articulation as the other one. Here you go with this, so you can fly around. You just can't look up, and for whatever reason, this is very loose. When you lift it up to here, it swings, but this way it stays in place. So if you want her to have a whole separate owl pet, there you are. And this thing has an impressive wingspan, which is way taller than her. And here she is standing in her little lobby or default stance, holding the wrench and the smaller wrench. And with all of that, let's get into Jules. You can see she's excellently painted and whatnot. See all that detail in the goggles on her head? There's paint down there. The whole tattoo situation right there. Front and back. The whole sleeve, her whole upper body. That's nuts. Is tattooed. Well, you gotta use your imagination if the whole body is tattooed, I would imagine. She has all types of detail, like weathering on the gloves. Weathering and dirt effect right there. To show you that her gloves are like worn out and dirty. This right here is separate from here, so it's strapped onto her hip, and it's not strapped to her leg. But look at that sculpting right there. The knee pads, the dirt down here. She has an actual painted ankle, dirt on the boots. They sculpted the top of her pants to this. Now, with them going out of their way to make this pliable material so she can be posable, I wish they would have made this out of that. It's so hard. Like, I was able to hold this down and kick her leg up, and for a split second, and like I had it up without that rising up too much. But if you rise the legs, this belt, tool belt and apron is going to lift up, so that's unfortunate. But let's get into some other unfortunate articulation. The head is basically just on a ball. There's no hinge, and they didn't give her the typical hinge in the bottom of the neck, just like they didn't do for Meowscles. Let's let you see. This is there. It's on a double ball post, but you can't move it at all, like freaking Dragon Star style. The only thing I could think to do is like Dremel the back of her neck, and then I don't know how deep that ball is. This is rotating, so I know it is on a ball under there. At least I will hope. But this thing costs a lot because it's a deluxe figure and exclusive. So yeah. Unfortunately, here's some other unfortunate articulation. They all have butterfly joints. She has freaking Jazzware style butterfly joints because they barely move. I almost feel like this is the first figure they wanted to tackle, and then they decided to change every other figure after this. Because she has this swivel, the hinge goes way more than 90. She's the only figure to have single jointed elbows, but they go way more than 90 degrees. So you can pretty much still get her in the poses. And of course it swivels. The wrist swivels. This hinges down and up, but this one comes in and out. You saw me messing around with the diaphragm. You can get a lot out of that. A lot. Love that. The hips go all the way out to the side on all these. And as you can see right here, they did paint all the way down to there. You can kick forward, kick back, thigh swivel. Pinless double knees that don't bend up super high. Both ankles rotate. Ankle pivot. And, well, ankle goes back and forth and ankle pivot. Now this leg once feels like it's kind of gummy up in there. So, out of all of the figures that I've received so far, I think this one, Ripley, and Meowscles are probably the weakest on articulation. I mean, this one technically has good articulation, but that neck, I had to take points away from that. Like, she doesn't even have long hair. It's so disappointing. Let me try to see how much I can get her to look up before popping her head off. And that's how much I can get her to look down. You can get a little bit of tilt, but she definitely has the weakest articulation out of everybody, unfortunately. Especially with this thing hindering articulation as well. I mean, it doesn't hinder it. She can still do it, but it doesn't look right with that apron all the way up there. I mean, you could try to force that down, but it's going to go back up. Now, these plastic pieces, like I said, no instructions. I have no other review to watch. I see that this pops on here. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's the best I could come up with. This actually, when you do that, it allows you to plug that to this. And then I have a Hasbro stand. I took the little hook off and I was able to jam this in there, but here's what you got to worry about. When I did that, this little thing wants to pop off that holds the real claw, and it doesn't. It wants to stay on there. All right, now here's where we come into an issue. Now I can get her up on here with that backpack on, suspended, and I don't know if this is an official thing you should be doing, but it's the only thing that makes sense for me. But here's the problem, and here's something I didn't show. This handle actually rotates on here. This bird is so freaking heavy, it's hard to get her suspended actually like this without the bird making her want to fall over because it's so freaking heavy. And the reason why this thing spins makes it easier to actually get her to hold it and then put the bird into the position. Alright, here's the best way I can get her actually holding this. Now in the game, she wouldn't be holding that. She would be holding the handle, the whole like stem, like it's an umbrella and floating down. But listen to me, please listen to me, because sometimes people aggravate me in the comments. When someone smarter than me figures out what this plastic piece is supposed to do, if this is not accurate, I'm going to pin that comment to the top of the comments. Please, everybody, don't come to me after someone else figures it out and shows it in their video, telling me, hey, you're supposed to do this. I'm going to pin that comment to the top of the comments. Please read before you reply. Thank you. Now, she comes with a lot of stuff, but it's always odd when a character from a game that's a third-person shooter doesn't come with a gun. But if you have the upgrade shark, you have this spare shotgun laying around, and they are coming out with little arcade machines that can be an arcade machine or double as... Oh, they're filled with weapons, basically. They all have at least one gun, so yeah. And if you've been collecting the Jazzwares, you have all types of spare guns laying around that still works because these are a 6-inch line. So there you are. You should have options if you've been collecting action figures forever, or you can give her one of your guns from your other characters, Fortnite characters to be specific. While we show off this comparison, let's get to the positives. Positives, a lot of detail, a lot of paint. She has the articulation. Unfortunately, things like this belt, the way that lifts up, hinders that, and the neck is definitely a hindrance. Other negatives, that backpack is very back heavy, and for whatever reason they decided to give this a flimsy stem right there. Yeah, so if you're going to suspend it mid-air, I would have it being grabbed like this. If she's holding that while you're actually having something hold the bird or the owl, it would actually stay up better than what I was trying to do with that backpack. Doing it with that backpack doesn't really make sense. So I eagerly await for somebody to tell me what those plastic pieces do. Also, while we have these here, look at this. 3 female characters right out the gate. Right out the gate. Jazzwares only made two female characters in their 6-inch line. Every time I play Fortnite, mostly everybody out there, male or female, they're using female skins the most. I swear. Female skins are the most popular. Everybody you'll encounter just about is a female skin. So the female skins are the most popular. So I don't know why Jazzwares were not pumping them out. And then the ones they picked were like, meh. They didn't even make Cuddle Team Leader. Now I know McFarlane made it, but it's not the same scale. They could have picked one of her other variations. Here's an extra little comparison I'll put in here. And the material that her shirt is made out of, they probably should make some of these G.I. Joe characters vests out of that, so they can be more pliable and not get in the way of ab crunch and whatnot. It's heavily implied that Jules is Midas's daughter based upon her real name and Midas's daughters in that story. But in the game, Jules has an outfit or armor just like this. I actually have that skin. I hope they give her an armor like this and give her double jointed elbows and an actual neck that actually works, because they didn't have a problem putting one on him. That's really good. But overall, I like the set because I like the way she looks. I might try to fix that neck. Attempt to fix that neck anyway. But please do keep in mind the things that I did mention were cons. I do like the way they approached this shirt. That is very interesting, so that she can actually still keep that ab articulation. So Where she has articulation is actually good. Like the elbows bending more than 90 degrees make her able to have good arm articulation. It's just the neck and the way this thing works, because that's not a soft material. That is the thing really holding this set back the most out of anything. But I like all the accessories and all the options. Technically, she basically has a secondary face if you put that mask on. So there you go with that. So anyway, thank you for watching this. I hope it all makes sense. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Figure action.
That one's me. Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos.